What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, talking today about Second Extinction, because this is a project that initially caught my eye since it seems to basically be Left 4 Dead with dinosaurs. It combines two of my very favorite things in the entire universe together, which is co-op and being able to play with my friends, and of course, scares, that fun just kind of shakiness as you're trying to reload a gun and blast another monster. But in this case, the monsters happen to be prehistoric beasties, and ones with some interesting sci-fi twists to it. Now, this game is technically in early access. The early access just began, and so of course I do need to warn you that if you're watching this in the future, things may have changed. They could have ruined the game or made it a million times better, but I'm talking about the experience as it exists today. And I have to say that this is a tiny taste. I wish that we had a lot more. It was easy to beat every single level and every single mission relatively quick, but for what we have so far, this is a very promising project. Now let's start off with how it works. The story initially begins with all of humanity on the run. We've had to try and evacuate the planet, and so the last remaining people in existence are now hiding up on a space station in orbit, and we play as some special operative soldiers whose job it is to come down and steal supplies for everybody up on the space station. So you're going to be doing things like hijacking airships, trying to find survivors, or sometimes just finding random ammo crates and shooting them back up using some boosters. But this is going to be tough because the reason that everything's gone bad is super intelligent dinosaurs have taken over the Earth. Now, there isn't a lot of cutscenes in this, so I don't exactly understand why these dinosaurs are so smart, but they're not just ones that you'd see in a science book. They have some weird special abilities, and this is where the game becomes fun, in my opinion, which is that you'll have these special dinosaurs that can teleport. The blue guys can actually, they have electrical abilities, so they can dash left and right extremely quick, literally faster than the eye can see. There's giant things like this humongous Tyrannosaurus Rex who can shout so loud it causes like a sonic blast wave, and the only way to stop him is to shoot him in the esophagus. They have velociraptors that have bone shields on, basically. They have like these little armor platings on their hands, and they'll try and be defensive to guard their buddies, and that's not when they're burrowing under the ground. Now, as you can tell, these are kind of just fitting into the standard archetypes of different Left 4 Dead monsters. A lot of stuff like there are acid spitters that work just like the spitters in Left 4 Dead, or there are these things that are called the Watchers, and they can do like this giant howl that'll draw in every single nearby dinosaur instantaneously and kind of screw you over if you're not careful. That is why teamwork is so absolutely essential. So the good news is that you're not alone. I mean, you are able to play this game co-op, and in my opinion, it seems like that's the only way you should play it. Technically, it's possible to go in a lobby completely alone, but not only is it way too hard, it's just not fun. The real excitement of this game is trying to back your buddies up, calling in airstrikes, and unleashing special abilities, which I will talk about here in a second. But really the flow of this game is that typically you go down and you try and search a particular area to try and achieve your mission and then evacuate by getting to one of the extraction points, which again feels like one of the Left 4 Dead finales, where you're trying to get to a helicopter and survive until they manage to rescue you. And what really kind of struck me is that there are so many elements in this game that are good. There is a lot of stuff in here that I think has some very, 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 very good plans set in motion. But as it stands, this is a little bit of a bare bones experience. I normally say that at the end of the video. I like to try and give the negatives. But the major thing I want to warn you about is, as much fun as this game is, as much as I was able to enjoy this for hours with my friends, right now there is only one region. It's basically one giant map, and whenever you choose a mission, you just drop into a particular zone and do that task. And so honestly, after about 6 hours, I saw and did everything. But now let's talk more about the characters. So one of the main twists they've decided to do this to make it where your hours feel very rewarding, there are different hero classes. Each of the characters has different special abilities, both passive and active. What this really breaks down to in action is different special abilities that let you actually use skills that will help your teammates out. That way you can do things like, if you're playing as a mirror, you can see dinosaurs through the walls every couple seconds, which means that you can avoid a big ambush, especially if you're going through underground tunnels or something really dangerous. If you're playing as somebody like, this is my favorite, she has 2 primary weapons, which means that if you want to try and be very offensive, you can carry a sniper rifle and a machine gun at once. Or you can be somebody like this giant minigun user who is really beefy, but also is very slow. It basically makes it where as you're leveling up, you do unlock new stuff like different strikes, different special abilities, and new weapons and stuff. But I think they want to make it where your initial characters feel strong according to your play type. Now, this is only half of the upgrades, and the other part is probably what I'm strangely most excited about, which is that there is this interesting weapon customization system that kind of reminds me of Monster Hunter. Now, that sounds insane, but hear me out. So while you're doing these missions, there are primary objectives. There's the things you need to do in order to leave the area, whether it be like unlocking a power source, trying to just discover some new objective, or killing a T-Rex. You know, these are the primary things that need to be done for the mission to end. And there are also little side objectives like unlocking a new checkpoint. You know, these are called camps, or just trying to, find new supplies to send back to orbit. But as you're fighting, you'll notice that stronger dinosaurs like the flatback, it's this huge like armored armadillo dude, they will drop little bone pieces and stuff. Each of the bigger and badder dinosaurs kind of spew out these special pieces that then can be taken back to base to do these like talent points on your weapons, which means that you can spend your resources to make it so something will aim faster, do more damage, or make it where if you get a headshot, you'll get an extra grenade. And to me, this adds way more depth. Already the game is fun. I think the aiming speed is perfect. The dinosaurs are perfect. So much about this game is literally perfect. It is exactly what I want. I just want more of it. After playing a couple hours, I just really wanted more guns. I wanted more depth. I wanted more maps. And to me, that is only a compliment. Because this is, I believe, $25, it is a good taste of early access. But even if you decide to wait and buy this game at launch, I think that this is something that I'm definitely going to be picking up day one when it gets its full release, because it is packed with potential. But these have just been some off-the-cuff thoughts after playing a bunch of Second Extinction and beating all the missions. What do you think? Have you gotten a chance to check this game out? Did you even know it existed before I mentioned it? Well, check it out and, leave me a comment in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. I want to end this video, of course, with a special thanks to Nick. He is again helping me out. This is my childhood best friend in pretty much all my co-op games. I love beating it with this dude. So thanks, Nick, for spending your day off with dinosaurs. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.